welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing some Easter recipes just in time for this weekend so that you can cook some lovely sweet treats and a meal for your family and enjoy the weekend. Even if you aren't religious, I feel like it's such a tradition, at least in the UK, that everyone celebrates Easter and has time off with their family. So we have 3 recipes. We have some little cute Easter chocolate nests. We have some hot cross buns and also a mushroom Wellington. They're all so delicious. I really enjoyed making them. They're slightly different to the sort of recipes I usually do. Some of them take a bit more time, but yeah, I've got pastry in my mouth. I've literally just eaten the Wellington. But yeah, all the recipes will be linked in the description as usual, as is my ebook, which has over 100 recipes if you are looking for some more vegan recipes. And let's get into it.
I've been alone before, but never with you. Your mind is not where your heart is. But let me tell you, you're gonna be alright. It's not a wish, it's a promise. It's a different kind of lonely, it's a different kind of sad. 'Cause we got no more if only, and we stopped feeling bad. It's a different kind of sadness. It's a different.
So now we're at the stage where we need to make everything into a dough. I have been kindly gifted this amazing food mixer by Smeg. It's just so beautiful, I love it. I can't wait till we have our kitchen done and we can have it in there. This is actually my friend's kitchen. She's doing all my photography for me. Check her out, I'll link her below. But we're gonna be kneading the dough in the mixer. But if you don't have a mixer like this, then I will detail in the recipe down below on my website how to do that. It's very simple, it just, you have to do it with your hands, but for all the details on that, go click the link for this recipe. Yeah, let's get mixing.
Stuck in this waitlist, and the end is getting near. So I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm moving on.
It's going wild. Look at it. You wanna let it do its thing for like 4 minutes? I think we're good now. So it's all kind of come together in a dough. I'm gonna take it off of the hook. So I'm just gonna remove this, put a damp towel on it, put it somewhere in the room that's warm, by a window, by an oven, radiator, whatever works, and then it will rise over the next hour, hour and a half until it's doubled, and then we do the next step.
We're still moving, but without a sound. God knows it's a long way down. It's a different kind of lonely, it's a different kind of sad.
So it has been rising for an hour and it's nicely doubled. So now it's time to add in the fruit mixture, and I'm just gonna put that in and then knock it back with the machine for about 30 seconds to a minute, just until it's mixed and has been knocked back again.
It's a different kind of sadness, it's a different kind of fear. Now we're stuck in this waitlist, and the end is getting near. So I'm moving on. Then you'll be moving on, and I'll be moving on, and you'll be moving on.
So I have divided them up into 12 little hot cross buns. They're a bit uneven, some of them have more sultanas than others, but that's all part of baking stuff at home. It's got a bit of character, hasn't it? They're about an inch apart, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, about an inch apart. They will kind of come together as they rise, and then you sort of pull them apart afterwards. But I'm gonna put a tea towel over them and let them rise for another hour.
Oh, it's not a pleasant sight. We got nowhere to hide. Ooh, got any final wishes? I've already made mine. Oh, best of luck. I see you on the other side.
I'm so excited to try this. I've been staring at it like So good. Tastes like the perfect hot cross bun. Even better though, because it's got maple syrup on top. We had to go through a few different recipe tests to get this one quite right, but we finally did it. The only thing that I would change is the piping that I did, which I think that I used a nozzle that's just a little bit too wide, so I'd try and use or cut the smallest little hole or use a nozzle that's really tiny and keep the flour on the thicker side. I think mine was slightly too runny, but all the recipe instructions will be accurate according to how much water and flour, so that the crisscrosses sort of are a bit more up, if that makes sense. But it was my first time ever piping hot cross buns, so I think I did pretty well. I'm really happy with how they turned out. The main thing is that they taste just like hot cross buns and they're vegan, so I'm happy. So this recipe is something that I feel like all of us have made since we were little. It was what I would always make every year at Easter. And instead of the Easter eggs, you would get like mini eggs from the shop because they aren't vegan. I'm gonna be making my own little eggs. This is basically the same as the recipe I shared at Christmas, which is for some truffles, except I'm gonna alter it very slightly and make them into the shape of Easter eggs. What are you laughing at?
Except.
Yeah, except I'm going to be rolling them and kind of shaping them into little Easter eggs and making them a little bit smaller. But yeah, I'm just pitting some dates and I'm going to put some nuts and some chocolate, and they'll be really tasty little truffle eggs. So it's a bit moist. I know it's a horrific word to use. So I'm going to put it in the freezer just for maybe 15 minutes or so. I'll keep an eye on it so that it's easier for me to then roll into little Easter egg shapes.
Still not used to all this concrete. Abandoned cars in the outskirts where we sit and eat. We sleep in the backseat.
So I'm just rolling them to a ball and then kind of rolling them lengthways and then kind of squishing them down, but that's just my technique. You can do whatever you want. And if you can't be bothered to make them look like eggs, you could just do little balls. And I've also wet my hands a little bit. I think my hands are a little bit too wet. If you wet your hands a little bit, it will stop it from sticking quite so badly. But I'm just going to keep doing this until I've made enough to cover this chopping board, and then put them in the fridge to set. That's so cute! So we put these in the fridge for maybe 15 minutes or until they're set, and then we can put chocolate on top.
For now, in order to survive, we put our past aside, just to stay alive. But when we're done with this city, we're going back to the hills to take it all back somehow.
Do you know what? Screw that. Let's do it how we did when we were a kid. Oh, I remember doing this when I was little. That's so much more effective as well. So I'm going to try and make 12 out of this. So I usually, when I am dividing stuff, I will divide it beforehand. So I've quartered it, and then I'll make 3 out of those little areas, if you can see. Yeah, I'll see how I go.
Find a place in the shade. Oh, in the shade.
I don't want like little baby nests, so I'm going to make 10. Didn't quite stretch to 12. You want to kind of push them up the sides a little bit and make a little nest in the middle. So they're more. So you can sit your eggs in them at the end. So I am using these silicone cupcake trays, but you can use cupcake cases. I just opted not to because I have these, and these are really great to put things in. I'm like flailing it everywhere. They're great to put things in without having to use any baking sheets or cases and that kind of thing. I'm gonna let these set in the fridge for an hour or two, and then we can add the little truffles into the nests at the end. Looking forward to this. Mmm. These are definitely going to be moreish. I'm going to be eating a lot of these. For a spring recipe, it tastes like Christmas. I was going to say that because this is a very Christmas recipe, but I feel like because Easter is a religious holiday tradition, so is Christmas, they tend to come with a lot of the same traditions. So lots of people in the UK at least have a roast dinner at Easter on Easter Sunday, and this is a great alternative to have to meat, or if you're cooking for your family you could make this and it'd be a really good showstopper. Like, this is on the table, like that would be very impressive if you came around with this. So it's perfect for Easter Sunday, and it's perfect for a roast dinner any time of the year. If you're watching this at Christmas time, it's also a great Christmas Day recipe. I'm so happy with how this turned out. So I hope you enjoyed all of these recipes, all these Easter recipes. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to make. If you're going to make any for the Easter weekend, please tag me in your photos if you recreate any. I love seeing your pictures. All the recipes are linked in the description, as well as my ebook, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! No chicks inside these eggs. Now what do I do? I'm like some evil monster.
Eat.
And then one for me.